Hey everybody, Paul back again from Ballistic Blood Bullets with second part of VHS horror and fantasy. This time looking at a collection or selection of my favourite video tape cover art on Japanese VHS. But before doing that, I should have said in the other video as well, I'm going to race through these just to get a taste of the cover art more so than talking about the movies, but any film that anybody would like to know more about, or for me to go more in depth than either on the last video or this one, please do let me know and I'll be happy to do a future video looking at one or two or as many as you'd like me to look at and go through the film in more depth and even do a review on if you'd so wish me to do so. This is again a part of my contest entry into Tyler Preston 20's fantastic contest with an opportunity to win a VHS copy of the movie VHS. And before we look at the Japanese tapes, one of the things that I wanted to do for Tyler was actually look at another film that was also a new release, a newish release in the last couple of years, that also got itself a VHS release as well, and that is The House of the Devil. And VHS on VHS isn't a new thing. There are quite a lot now coming out, particularly with the independent movie makers. They've jumped onto the idea that people do like the opportunity of having a VHS retro throwback of the movie as well as a DVD and Blu-ray, and this is no exception with The House of the Devil. So just quickly to have a look at this, it is quite rare. I think it was limited to something like 1,000. Very fortunate to have this, and I do have it on DVD as well, but very nice to have. Good old style big box VHS of the movie House of the Devil, directed by Ty West. Okay, let's get right into the goodies that are on Japanese VHS. I'm starting off in true style, horror style. Got a movie called Toxic Zombies that was released in the UK, better known as Forest of Fear, and it's got some marijuana fields that are become toxic by a plane, a crop duster, and the local inhabitants and drug dealers or drug users turn into effectively crazed zombie-like possessed flesh eaters. Very politically incorrect, and a movie that was on the infamous British DPP Video Nasties list back in the 80s, let's say under the title of Forest of Fear, but this is the Japanese version called Toxic Zombies. But again, very retro, gaudy artwork, very typical of Japanese artwork brilliance. And again, next up we've got a B movie, but made to look absolutely wonderful purely by the wonderful, outlandish horror artwork that is gracing the front cover. This is a movie called The Dark Power. That is good stuff. Really like that. It's a real favourite. Not the greatest film in the world, but that artwork just sets it apart, and it is good fun. True B-movie goodness. Quite a difficult movie to track down, and very much in keeping with the theme of this video in having some very cool horror cover artwork right there. Okay, not just horror, but we're looking at the science fiction and fantastical, as I say, and one of my favourite movies, Cobra Thunderbolt. Slightly futuristic movie, action-packed. Look at that greatness for a cover. This is a movie made in Thailand, but it is big, big fun, and that is a great piece of cover art. Really do like this It is a over-the-top movie full of comic book starred violence, but definitely worth your time seeking this one out. Again, it is sadly quite rare and hard to come by, but Cobra Thunderbolt, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Brilliant, brilliant cover art. Really do like that a lot. Very nice indeed. Okay, next up, a bit of a treat. This is looking at a movie that we talked about quite recently amongst us on YouTube, and that is Robo Vampire. And we were looking at the DVD release of the film. This is the extremely rare and much sought after Japanese VHS release of the film. Great cover artwork for this. This is the full 2:3:5:1 widescreen ratio uncut movie, and it is wonderful stuff. This artwork is much better than that is used for the DVD. Very, very cool indeed. I think you agree. Lovely stuff, and looking even more like Robocop there, which of course the aluminium foiled big Astro booted cop in this film is not, but that's all part of the fun and the charm. And there he is, Mr. Aluminium Foilhead himself, up against the vampires. Great stuff, so over the top, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Very much a big fun, turn your brain off, sit down with a beer and some mates and enjoy. Great, great stuff. So I really wanted to show this one off. Robo Vampire, Japanese VHS style. And not only that, I did mention in my recommendation of the film that Robo Vampire makes a couple of other cameos in 2 other movies as well, and one of the other cameos he makes is in a film called Counter Destroyer, and this is an American VHS release of the film, and again great artwork. And in the movie, very briefly, is a cameo by our favourite Robo Vampire. Again, this one's quite hard to come by, well worth seeking out. And speak of Mr. Aluminium, there he is, Counter Destroyer. And again, the third appearance by Robo Vampire. Again, delighted to have this one, I'm pleased to say, on Japanese VHS. Full widescreen uncut movie, and so very, very rare, so hard to come by this. But there he is again, looking something quite that he's not in the movie, but we don't mind that because it's just a big fun blast. And this movie is called The Vampire is Alive, and it does have its Fang base, of which I am definitely a Fang myself, and this one is a tasty treat, again with Robo Vampire, Mr. Aluminium Head, up against a Freddy Krueger type vampire, no less. You only get this goodness in these Asian Hong Kong movies from the likes of Godfrey Ho and Thomas Tang, not to be confused with Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas Tang is a guy that is fully automated in making so many classic B movies and the cut and paste movies, but they're a delight. They are so, so wonderful. But this is again featuring our friend Mr. Aluminium Head, Robo Vampire, in The Vampire is Alive. Good, good stuff. Just wanted to show those 3. And getting back into some fantasy elements. Again, going back to the goodness of the Euro movies of the late 80s, early 90s. This one is just speaks for itself, basically. Beautiful, beautiful artwork, very sexy lady, and ladies indeed. And this is Too Beautiful to Die, and I think that we can definitely say, without question, that is the case. Lovely artwork to this, very, very stylish movie. A bit of erotica, but giallo, and lots of gory deaths in this one. But this is Too Beautiful to Die, and indeed too beautiful to turn down in not showing in this video. Okay, let's continue the theme of the fantastical. And again, this is another Japanese release, and again you will notice a similarity to a theme of Robocop, and this is Lady Battle Cop. This is indeed the Japanese version, female version of Robocop. Very rare, quite hard to come by, and definitely overlooked, and I dare say it's a movie that's almost certainly has seen little light of day outside of Japan, probably because of problems with the fact that it does rip. Robocop. So there would definitely be some legal action, I'm sure, if it did get released around the world in general release. But this is wonderful stuff, and I think it is one that is probably only attainable on Japanese VHS, but well worth seeking out if you can find it. But again, very stylish artwork for a rare title, Lady Battle Cop. Right, onto some big, bold horror action style, great big box Japanese VHS, wonderful stuff. King of Snake, brilliant, brilliant stuff. Look at that artwork. That's in the style of the old classic Godzilla type monster movies, and this is a big B-movie monster. Great, terrific stuff. Wonderful, wonderful cover artwork. Not too much going on the rear, but it is definitely a movie well worth seeking out, and that is perhaps very synonymous there with the type of Godzilla set action that I'm talking about. And this is King of Snake. It's got an alternative title, something like Gigantic Serpent Attack, something. I forget the title, unfortunately, forgive me for that, but this is released under the title of King of Snake. Good stuff. Again, sticking with the Japanese VHS, but Indonesia this time, Indonesian film. And again, another rip-off. This is again another Terminator type movie. This is a female Terminator, and it's called Nasty Hunter, from Indonesia. Great stuff, very much worth seeking out, but again, it is quite a hard one to come by, but well worth seeking out if you are able to. Great bit of reverse cover art there as well. Gory alien creature type goings on, where this creature possesses the woman, turns her into Nasty Hunter, and she goes on a violent murder spree, just like the Terminator. Great stuff. Sticking with Indonesia, who around the period of the late 80s, early 90s again came out with some terrific stuff. A lot of these movies are only available on Japanese tape in uncut form. This is no exception. This is Dangerous Seductress, and that is a great piece of cover art once again. And again, this is what this video is all about. Looking at the cover art goodness. This one goes onto the spine as well. Really good stuff. Very violent. Some cheesy special effects, but that's all in keeping with the wonderfulness of this type of movie. A little bit more boobage there for Tyler, his favourite word of the moment, but we all like that as well, and that's all again part of the fun of these types of movies. And this is Dangerous Seductress. Great stuff. Okay, let's get back into some Euro sci-fi horror goodness. And this one stars Franco Nero. And look at that. That's what you pay your money for. That's the big buck money shot. Wonderful stuff. This is called Top Line. And again, very much on the theme of Terminator-esque. Alien comes down in robotic form and starts going after the good guy, Franco Nero, and his female co-star. And it is all very much like, I guess I'd say it was like a cross between Incredible Melting Man and the Terminator. Don't think there's any movies that could actually say that they were taken from those two films, but this definitely is. This is Top Line, and it stars Franco Nero, Django himself, and that's one mean looking alien critter who's looking like a crispy fritter. Good stuff. Euro horror action. And to end on a high, this is one of my very favourite and very rare Japanese videotapes. This one is insane, over the top madness, horror, action, bizarreness, fantasy, magic of the universe. It is too bizarre for words. It is like if Jim Henson made The Exorcist, something along those lines. It is just so good. It's set in a parallel universe. It's got lots and lots of freaky creatures and plan to take over the planet sort of scenario. But it is just so perversely brilliant. Filipino production, I believe. And it's full of these oddities and these creatures. I say it is like sort of Jim Henson's puppets, but sort of more realistic, more lifelike, certainly more threatening, certainly more repugnant, but also deliriously delicious. Wonderful stuff, and this is such a difficult one to come by, and certainly not one that I'm going to be letting go any time soon. Magic of the universe, and that is it for this video. A look at horror, fantasy, sci-fi goodness, cover art, an entry to Tyler Preston 20's contest. Hope you all enjoyed it, and again, as I say, please do let me know if there's any individual movie or movies that you'd like me to touch on more, look at further and greater detail, and or perhaps do a short review of the film for you. Please do let me know in the comments. Till next time, take care. Thanks all for watching. See you all soon. Bye for now.